Hi, uh, the interviewer today is Robert Coop, and what's your name?
Matthew Tepp.
All right, I'll be doing your interview today. If you're not really sure what an in-depth interview is, it's simply a structured and free-flowing conversation between an interviewer and the respondent. We'll talk about a topic for about 30 minutes or until all questions are answered and you've said what you want to say. Today we're talking about Uber. You should know that I'm not an expert in this area. I'm simply here to lead discussion and make sure that all questions are answered and your opinion is able to be expressed. Let's set up some rules for discussion. I want you to feel comfortable while talking about your ideas, thoughts, beliefs, and feelings about Uber. There are no right or wrong answers here. Everything you say is important, so please feel free to talk. Do not be afraid of telling me what you think, even if it sounds like you disagree or if it sounds strange. I expect everyone to have different ideas. We have a lot to discuss regarding the topic, so I might move our topic along at a slower or faster speed, depending on how much we are getting through. My goal is to try to get your best opinion regarding what we're discussing, and whatever is said in this room will not be shared with anyone else. So you do not need to worry about people knowing what you said here. I will, however, be recording this talk, as you can see, so I don't forget what was said. Even though your words are being tape recorded, nothing that you say will be connected with your name, and no one else will know what you said. If you feel the need to leave the room at any minute or any moment, please let me know. Then we come back and finish up then. Do you have any questions before we start?
Nope.
All right. I'd like you to start again by telling us your name, age, and major at UND.
Matthew Tepp, Communications, and 21 years old.
And then where are you from?
Lakeville, Minnesota.
And do you know much about the public transportation here in Grand Forks, such as like the city area transit, buses, or taxi services?
I know more about like taxi services. Buses, I don't really know like their schedule and all that.
And do you have any? I guess even speaking comparatively, like can you compare the taxi services that you've seen here in Grand Forks to, I guess, services you've seen around the country in other cities?
I know like in the Twin Cities, the taxi services are a lot more like smoother and they're there in a timely manner. But taxis up here are pretty slow because they don't have a lot of them.
So how would you perceive the services here in Grand Forks?
Slow.
All right. And then, how much do college students rely on public transportation in Grand Forks? Like, for what purposes do you think public transportation is being used for the most part?
Probably for school, like aviation students. I know they use like buses and shuttle to get to the airport, but mostly then students who are like 21 or over, like myself, use taxis to get like to downtown and all that. But other than that, I wouldn't say they use it that much.
Okay. And then, how often do you believe this transportation, like cabs and city buses, are being used by college age students, like people who are 18 to 30, like in Grand Forks? Do you think it's daily, weekly, monthly, yearly?
I'd probably say weekly, mostly on weekends.
Yeah. And then, how do college students get around on Sundays and holidays when these services aren't available? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Maybe a friend.
And then what do you think would be like the ideal transportation method for someone within this age range, a college student living in Grand Forks? Like, yeah, I guess.
I mean, probably just having like, I know one of my buddies goes to Colorado and they have like a service where students can sign up and drive students places and whatnot and make an extra buck or two.
Is it through an app or anything like that, or is it just?
Yeah, it's through an app. I'm not sure what it's called, but
okay. And then what else could I ask you here? Does time of day influence any transportation ideal? Like morning versus 2 a.m. as example. Like is do you notice a difference in the availability of these services between these times of day?
Yeah, 2 a.m. it's pretty much impossible to find a cab.
And then what experiences do college students have about like, indirect and direct competitors such as Lyft? Like, do you have any ill will towards that company? Do you think they're a better company than Uber? Have you used both companies before?
Yeah, I've used both. I haven't used Lyft in Minnesota. I used it in Colorado when I was out there, but I think they're pretty much just the same company.
And then you feel pretty comfortable using both services as well? Did you ever have you ever had issues with both companies?
No,
Never?
I haven't had any issues.
And do you know of any like, do you know people who do you have an issue with these things? Like, for instance, like a lot of times women will talk about it being unsafe in the car or worry about who the driver is. Have you ever had or do you know anyone who's had a personal experience where they've been in danger or in a bad situation due to Uber or Lyft services?
No.
And then but what cities have you experienced Uber in?
Boulder, Colorado, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Lakeville, Minnesota.
Okay. And then what are the current perceptions of Uber among UND students, do you think?
I think they want it up here because the taxi service are so unreliable.
Mm-hmm. And if Uber would enter Grand Forks, North Dakota, why do you think, you answered this question already, why would college students choose Uber over taxi or something? You just said because it's more reliable.
More reliable, easy, like you can request it individually and they'll be there.
And then even in regards to like how there's price surging with Uber and certain times of days and it costs more money, do you think most people are willing to pay that extra money to get a ride home at 2 a.m. versus wait for the other cab services?
Yeah, I don't think there will be that much of an issue with price surging up in Grand Forks because really there's not that many people up here.
Yeah. What else? I guess do you have a preference between Uber and Lyft?
No, I'll use either one.
Okay. And then you have your own car at school, right?
Yep.
And then so when you have your own car, do you think students who have their own car greatly reduce them needing a cab service, or do you think they're pretty good about getting rides with friends? I guess the question is, if someone does not have a car here, are they still using the public transportation systems that often?
Well, really it depends what age group. Like, as a freshman when I had a car, I would use it all the time. Mm-hmm. But now, older, like I still use it, but like say I go downtown, I don't want to drive my car down there and leave it down there. So obviously I'm going to use public transportation.
I guess are there anything else you want to talk about for this discussion, or any other questions?
Nope.
Nothing? All right, thank you.